I just want to say how very pleased I am as a member of the Congress Working Committee and of the Congress Manifesto Committee to release this document, the Nirogi Anandi Surakshit Pune of Mr. Dhangekar's dreams in this Mazashabd document. Because we have a Sankalp Patra for the whole nation in the Congress Party, but we very much want each of our candidates to be focused on the local issues and the local needs. And this Mr. Ravindra Hemraj Dhangekar has done in such an elaborate document that you can actually understand the depth of his commitment to Pune and his willingness to serve the interests of this city and its residents in all respects. So my congratulations to you, Ravindra. This is a very impressive document, and I hope that the media will look at it very carefully as you report on these last days, one last week of Ravindra Dhangekar's campaign. Let me say very bluntly, I'm here because we wish to see a change of government in Delhi. This is not just for us an ordinary Lok Sabha election. We believe that in this country, we are in a serious battle for safeguarding India's democracy, India's diversity. It is a struggle for India's soul that we are engaged in. There has been a lot of talk about the idea of India, but let me put it very simply to you. The basic idea of India in our constitution is an idea that as far as the constitution is concerned, it doesn't matter what your caste is, what your religion is, what your language is, which state you're from. Ultimately, if you are a citizen of India, you have the same rights as everybody else. This is fundamentally under threat from the BJP and its approach of Hindi, Hindutva, Hindustan. The second problem we have is with the weaponization of the instruments of the state. There has become an assault on our democracy. All the institutions created by the Constitution to protect and uphold our democracy are under threat. And we have seen this. I think we can go into more detail if you have questions, but we've seen it so much, you don't need me to explain it to you. The weaponization of CBI, ED, IT, NIA, all of these agencies. The hollowing out of the autonomous institutions, which are now autonomous only on paper and not in reality. The undermining of the media, the atmosphere of fear that is pervading our country, where people are even afraid to speak frankly on the phone because they fear the government is listening. This is not the India that our founding fathers in the freedom struggle fought for. The India where Rabindranath Tagore could write would be a country where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. Today, many Indian minds are full of fear, and many are unable to hold their head high in these circumstances. We want to restore that kind of India, an India where all Indians are treated alike with respect, an India where the government doesn't tell you whom to worship, what to wear, what to eat, what to buy, whom to love. An India where people are free, where the press is truly free, and where people can pursue their dreams and can grow without the ever-present fear of an overweening government. तो मैं यहाँ आपसे सिर्फ ये कहना आया हूँ कि हम चाहते हैं कि सरकार को बदल ले दिल्ली में, कि जिस किस्म के हमारे लोकतंत्र में अभी सही बात कहूँ तो लोकतंत्र खतरे में ही है। कुछ सालों से हम देख रहे हैं कि हमारे देश में जो भी ये सरकार कर सके उनके सारे स्थापनों को दुरुपयोग करके, जैसे कि सीबीआई, ईडी, एनआईए, आईटी और ऐसे जो हमारे संविधान में लिखे हैं, जो हमारे डेमोक्रेसी, हमारे लोकतंत्र को बचाने के लिए जो भी सेफगार्ड्स रहे, ये सब एक एक करके भाजपा इसको बदल रहे हैं। अगर तीसरी मौका उनको मिले, मैं कहूंगा कि हमारे लोकतंत्र का भविष्य के बारे में कोई गारंटी नहीं है। और आपको पता है कि जब मोदी की गारंटी होती है तो वो गारंटी जनता के लिए नहीं होती है, अपने आप के लिए और अपने पार्टी के लिए होती है। तो मैं आपसे सिर्फ ये भी कहूंगा कि भारत का बहुस्वरता, सारे जाति, सारे धर्म, मजहब, सारे भाषा, सारे राज्यों के जन इस देश में भारतीय नागरिक के रूप में सब समान हो, सब एक हो, इस किस्म का भारत भी खतरे में है। तो हम चाहते हैं कि ये, जब मोदी जी नया भारत कहते हैं, हम पुराने भारत के सारे अच्छे मूल्य, अच्छे विश्वास, अच्छे रीति को खो जाने नहीं चाहते हैं। इसलिए मैं हूं आपके साथ, और यहां रविंद्र जी के लिए बोल रहा हूं, और हमारे कांग्रेस पार्टी के सारे उम्मीदवारों और इंडिया अलायंस के सारे उम्मीदवारों के लिए मैं कहूंगा कि हमारे लोकतंत्र को बचाने के लिए इंडिया अलायंस को जिताइए। महाराष्ट्र में मैं जो कुछ देख रहा हूं और सुन रहा हूं, मेरा आत्मविश्वास बढ़ गया है कि यहां लग रहा है कि जनता हमारे संदेश सुन रहे हैं और हमारे तरफ ही आ रहे हैं। तो मैं ये पुणे छोड़ने के पहले आप लोग से मिलके मैं ये भी मांग रहा हूं कि हमारे संदेश ये माध्यमों के माध्यम से जनता के पास पहुंचे। Thank you very much once again for coming and attending this press conference. Good numbers. I'll be happy to take your questions in English or Hindi or Malayalam if you wish. आज सुबह मैं तो पुणे के मलयाली एसोसिएशंस के सारे अंग से मिले, सारे अंग नहीं लेकिन सारे जो ऑफिस बेयरर्स हैं उनसे मिले, और काफी इंप्रेसिव हूं कि 1,70,000 लोग हैं इस एरिया में, पुणे और पिंपरी चिंचवाड़ में, जो मेरे राज्य केरला से हैं। तो उनको भी मैंने मिलके जरा सा उनको मैंने बोल दिया कि इस बार अगर आपको ईमानदारी से रहना है तो आके वोट कीजिए इंडिया अलायंस के उम्मीदवारों के लिए। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद। लिटिल लाउडर, लिटिल लाउडर। Well, we are seeing this all the time, my dear friends. When I don't want to name names because you know how it is, but I'll give you examples which are all true. When certain stories are published in the media or carried on television, there are calls that go to the owners about their other businesses. And very quickly, these editors or journalists are either brought to heel or dismissed. In some cases, when contributions have been made by some businesses to opposition parties, which is a normal democratic process in our country, tax raids are followed on their businesses. One example which is publicly known, so I can mention it, is when Dainik Bhaskar wrote that piece about the bodies being floated down the Ganga during the second wave of COVID. Every Dainik Bhaskar office in the country was raided day after day for weeks to teach them a lesson. This is not democracy, my friend. This is a weaponization. Then you ask the business community what happens in terms of tax terrorism. Many, many businessmen have told me that the demands of the government have become completely unreasonable, that they set targets for the tax authorities, and even if there is nothing seriously wrong, people will come and raid the books and tie up the business and paralyze the business for days in order to find something to meet their targets. We have now had a record in the last 5 years of Indian businessmen relocating to Dubai and Singapore. Even if the bulk of their market is in India, they are putting their registered office and their headquarters abroad. Because, why? You ask them, they tell you because of tax terrorism under the BJP in India. This has to stop. And ordinary law-abiding citizens should not be terrorized when the rich billionaires who are working for the BJP hardly pay any tax. I contested against such a person in Thiruvananthapuram. When his affidavit came out, people were shocked. Because there are videos on YouTube of the gentleman living in a 49,000 square foot mansion, owning a fleet of 24 cars, luxury motorcycles, private jets. Hello Anandji, welcome. Good to see you. Great to see you. And despite that, when he filed his affidavit for the election, his last 3 years taxable returns were 17 lakhs, 5 lakhs, and 1 year taxable income of 680 rupees. Now, this is how the wealthy are able to avoid taxes on their assets, whereas the ordinary people, the salaried person, has no choice. Whatever we are paid officially and legally, we pay tax on it. And for us, for the Aam Aadmi, for the middle class, if we didn't do so, we would be victims of tax terrorism. But the rich not only get away with all of this, but they are deshbhakts. We are the anti-nationals. I think it's time that we realize that you cannot misuse the tax system to serve your narrow political ends and protect only your cronies and your people. सर लिटिल लाउडर जी बताइए। हाँ, हेमंत करकरे की विषय। देखिए, जो उन्होंने कहा, मेरे ख्याल में इसके ऊपर जांच होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि वो कह रहा है कि उनके पास सबूत है कि जिस बुलेट से करकरे साहब के देहांत हो गए, कि उस बुलेट एक पुलिस रिवॉल्वर का था और कसब का, कलाशनिकॉव का नहीं था। अगर ऐसे सबूत है और साबित कर जाए तो नेचुरली बहुत गंभीर विषय है। लेकिन मैं यहां बैठ के नहीं कह सकता हूं कि जो भी कहा वो सच है या नहीं, क्योंकि मुझे पता नहीं। लेकिन जो उन्होंने कहा ये गंभीर विषय है और जांच होनी चाहिए, लोग देखना चाहिए कि कौन से बुलेट से ये हो गया, क्या हो गया। क्योंकि हमारे एक मशहूर ऑफिसर, बहुत बहुत अच्छे रेपुटेशन में, उनसे मिला था और उनके देहांत के बाद में जाके उनका विधवा से मिला। बहुत दुखित बात है। मैं करकरे साहब और उनके परिवार को बहुत बहुत इज्जत करता हूं। तो अगर ऐसे कुछ हुआ है हमारे एक देशभक्त पुलिस ऑफिसर को, तो जानना चाहिए असलियत क्या है। I'm sorry? Well, look, what has been said is very simply that the LOP has raised an issue which has been in the public domain for some time, which was also mentioned in the book Who Killed Karkare by the former IG of Police SM Mushrif. And the fact is that the book does make this claim that bullets found in Hemant